We have got the Stihl 041 Farm Boss. I have had it rounding. I did do a bench tune on it. We're going to run it in the wood here, see how it cuts, and fine tune it. Pretty sure this is an old school muffler, which is nice. There's probably no baffles in this thing, so she ought to be able to breathe pretty good. Let's get her fired up. All right. It's an old school saw. A lot of the old school saws didn't get very high up in the RPMs. So she cuts pretty good. She's no speed demon for sure, but she makes a good work saw, firewood saw, whatever. She does pretty good. She cuts pretty good. Just need to touch that chain up a bit. And I think I got her tuned in about as good as I want to get it. So hopefully. All right. I sent the owner a little clip of running the saw in the wood, and he was tickled right to death about it. And he said the shop that he took it to before actually had it for 3 years. So just a little background on that. I'm glad he's happy about that. I asked him if he wanted me to touch up the chain and get him a new air filter, do a little maintenance on it. He said sure, no problem. So I noticed that the starter assembly was a little stiff, so I've started taking it apart so I can get down to the recoil spring, and we're going to clean things up there and lubricate it. This is a old school starter pole setup. So we got a little clip that holds this washer on, and we got a little spring underneath of that. Then we've got this washer here, and it has 2 flat sides on it. So we need to make sure that goes back properly. And then you have your starter pole assembly right there. As it rotates, these little starter poles, they kick out. I believe the rest of this will just sit right in there. It's got spring tension against it. So I'm not going to worry about taking it off unless I have to. And we're going to flip it over to the bottom side here, where the spring assembly is. And I want to see if I can get this off of here, and I may not be able to because it looks like it is one whole piece here. It looks like this cover piece here might be kind of like pressed on to this outer rim. So what I think I'll do is leave well enough alone, because these springs aren't very fun to get back together. And I think I'm just going to spray lubricant down in here and get things working a little bit better than they were. My lubricant, which is not really a lubricant, the only thing I got right now is some PB Blaster. Actually, I might have some WD-40 in the house. I'll bring you right back in a minute. Alright, I'm back. I found some WD-40 that we can spray in there. And my wife hides it from me. And she writes on there, mine. Because she knows if I find it, I'll take it. And I'm supposed to bring it right back. So basically, just some light oil is all you need. You don't need nothing too heavy. All it will do is just gum up. You don't want that. Oh, something I thought was interesting on these 041s is the fuel tank and the starter cover is all one piece. So here's your starter cover assembly, where it vents through. The gas cap's right there. You look right in, you can see this part of it off that way. And then the fuel tank, all your little bolts that keep it all together. I just thought that was interesting. That was built into one piece. Let me blow this out real quick. Alrighty. Now we can set this back in there and making sure that the hook on your spring locks into the to that section there. Remember that the top of this is also keyed. There we go. Once everything lines up right, it'll just drop right on. Go ahead and put this washer with the flat sides on it, on the inside diameter. Put that on next. Then your spring. And then your large washer. And after your large washer goes on, your little E-clip. Press that large washer down onto the spring, compressing it, and slide your little E-clip in place. A little tricky to get everything lined up, but once you get it, it'll be fine. Alright. So, give it a little, maybe a 1 turn, possibly 2 turns. And then once you've given it 2 turns, shove the end of the rope through your hole here. Let it stick out the top. Give it a couple pulls, letting that oil distribute through there. Alright, that feels pretty good. I think those 2 turns will be plenty, enough pre-tension for you. These forceps are nice for stuff like this. Usually I would just tie a knot here and just let it sit. Sometimes a knot still fits through the hole. Slide your starter handle on, tie a nice knot in the top of it. There you go. One little thing that I do when I go to tuck that knot in, just so that the tip of the knot ain't sticking up out of the hole and poking in the hand sometimes. So I take the end of that knot, I'm sure you can see me, and I roll it over and roll the knot over along with it, get it started in the hole, and then take and pull the bottom down, and it tucks the tail of that knot out of the way. So you don't have to worry about it sticking out or poking you in the hand. Got these forceps on Amazon. I think my wife got them. It came with like maybe 4 or 5 in a pack, something like that. Different lengths. So I grabbed the longer ones. Alright, everything seems to work fine. I got good pre-tension here, so I think we're good there. Now, what I want to do is take a good look around this coil. So this is a point system, and so its coil and its magnet and everything's up underneath this flywheel. So I'm going to leave well enough alone. It's not the funnest thing to work on, especially when it comes to adjustments. So the way this starter works is these U-shaped poles. They'll spring out, and when they spring out, they dig into this plastic that's on the inside of this rim. Doesn't seem like a very good design, but it has been lasted since the 60s. Not sure what year this actual saw is, but these saws, like I mentioned earlier, started in 1967 and ran all the way up to 1986. Per the site I looked at. Hopefully this was some good content for you. Hopefully you learned something from it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If so, give me a thumbs up, send me some comments, let me know what you think. Be kind and help people when you can.